Alrighty, let's jump right into day 3 of our social media training. Let me share my screen. Oh, part 3. Here we are. Okay. I want to view full screen. Okay. Day 3. So today we are going to talk about posting and sharing on your social media to get the best out of your time. And the whole point of being on social media and marketing and social selling, again, whatever you want to call it, this is kind of like the juicy stuff. This is what we're getting to, right? So think of your profile on, I'm talking Facebook specifically, and your story, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, as your storefront. Okay. If we're not posting every day, people don't realize that we're open for business. So think of your social media page or your stories as an open sign on a brick and mortar building. Did you flip your sign on today that says open so your customers or the people just walking by or scrolling know that you offer something and you have something for sale? It doesn't need to be on sale. It just needs to be available for them to stop by. If you're walking through your little downtown area and you see stuff in the window, like you can't buy it if the windows are dark or the open sign's not on. Like you want to walk in and explore, but the open sign has to be on. So some food for thought there. I like to think of like window shopping. Like let's say you're out and about, but the store is not open on Mondays. Like you can see through the window, like you can peek, like they've got a couple of cute outfits in there that you might want to go back to. And so maybe that's what people see when you haven't posted in a few days, but they're like, well, I wonder like if she's actively working her business. So make sure to keep an active story at least and post often, but we'll get into all the nuts and bolts here in just a moment. If my screen will change. All right, here we go. So you'll want to come up with some engaging profile feed content. So this is what we're talking about, what you're going to post on your Facebook page or your wall or on Instagram. But I've said before, I primarily focus my posts to be on Facebook. So you're going to want to have a combination of about 80% lifestyle, 20% business. We don't want to be a spammy advertisement. When people go to your profile, they don't just want to see bravenly, product, whatever it is. They want to see you. We've talked about this the last 2 days. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So if they aren't feeling who you are and getting your vibe and getting to know, like, and trust you, they're not necessarily going to click buy on the products that you're constantly posting about. They just see your stuff and like, oh, that's just another ad. I'll just keep scrolling, and so on and so forth. So couple of ideas as far as lifestyle posts go. I'm not telling you need to put your whole dirty laundry on the internet, but I'm just saying it needs to be non-business stuff. So asking for recommendations. So maybe you are thinking about going and meeting a friend for lunch tomorrow, or a date night with your spouse, or a movie to watch, or a Netflix show to binge, or a book to read. Ask people for recommendations. People like to give their feedback. They love to give their opinions. So when you ask, like, what's the latest and greatest show on Netflix everyone's watching, you're going to be surprised at how many comments you're going to get because everyone wants to put their favorite show. Ask for opinions. Do a this or that. It's been a couple of years now, actually, 2 years. But when we were gearing up for the launch of our beloved Brave and Lay business 2 years ago, it was the first time, obviously, that we had an event, but we were going to be doing a formal red carpet gala, founding grand partner gala event, the whole 9 yards. And I was torn between 2 dresses that I wanted to wear. One was like a sleek black dress that I actually borrowed from like the Ashley Walmart, the best of the best, right? So I wanted to wear that, but I also got this really sparkly, bedazzled, completely sequined dress, and I was torn between the 2. So I did a side-by-side post, and I asked people's opinions which one I should wear, and it blew up. Still to this day, it's probably the most engagement I've ever had on a post. And I think the funny thing is, I think people like, I think the general consensus was the black one that I had gotten from Ashley Walmer, but I didn't feel worthy enough of wearing that dress at that time. So I wore the other one and then saved it for the next event when I had hit the top rank at the time, and saved it for then because then I felt more worthy. So anyway, if Ashley's watching, she's probably gonna laugh at that. Anyway, another thing to do is share a family photo. Like people want to see, like you're a mom, you're a dog mom, you're a wife, you're a full-time employee. Like share your family, share. It doesn't have to be like the nuts and bolts of it, but just the general family picture that you're posting on your wall in your living room anyway. I share a lot about my kids. Typically, when I share those things, I do set it on private or like friends only, just because there are weirdos out there. Everything else I do public so that it gets more, or the potential to have more views anyway. So that's just personal preference. Provide value. So encourage others. I just posted something last night that just had a quote from Trent Shelton, and I put it with a picture of myself. I credited him. I actually tagged him in it. So don't just like steal other people's quotes, but give credit where credit's due, or just share your own inspiring thing. Like, even just like for Monday motivation, have a happy Monday. Like, remember to have a great day or make it a great day or whatever it is. Like, those things. I hope your coffee is stronger than your daughter's attitude. I think of that almost every day. So just something to provide value and make people want to follow you and look forward to your next posts. And then the 20% business part. Post a picture of you using your product. Like I'm still sipping on the rest of my cold mushroom coffee with gold in it. Like take a picture of yourself drinking it, or just, okay, boost proof for the win. People want to see you using the products, right? Whatever it is, before and afters, whether you have your own or whether you're sharing your friends, use some before and afters every now and again. I don't have a major weight loss story, but if I look back at just my face from 5 years ago to now, it's like I'm a whole different person. I didn't think I had weight to lose, but it's the inflammation that gold has helped with in a tremendous way that I didn't even know I had an inflamed face until I compare pictures to now. And so just share those things. Look back at your old pictures, because maybe you're in the same boat and you didn't realize how much you've changed. But those kinds of things draw attention, and people that they can see. People need to see to believe sometimes. And when they can see you or your friends winning, share that. Or just a testimony. Maybe it's not a before and after picture, but a testimony of what something's doing. Like a friend says, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful you introduced me to Calm. It really does what it says. It's an actual chill pill. I feel so much more, whatever. Post that feedback. People want to see that. So anyway, in posting all of these engaging kinds of things, it would lead to people commenting and liking and even sharing something that you post. And those are all things that are going to grow your business and your following and attract more friends and all of the things. Okay. So as far as creating content, this is where people get kind of caught up because they just don't have the time. They don't have the creative energy, whatever it is. Try to plan on batch content days. You guys, I am not always very motivated, first of all. And second of all, like creative feeling. There's days where I just wake up and I have a bad day. The kids are grumpy. I'm pushing them out the door to go to school. I get stuck at every red light and I get home and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to get in front of my computer and create content that day. I'm kind of in a bad mood, right? I can't inspire others when I'm in a bad mood. But if I did some batch days on, earlier in the week, then I can just steal from that and post it. Okay. So sometimes for people, that's on a Sunday. You're winding down from the crazy weekend. You're preparing for the busy week ahead. Spend some time and just make some batch content. Okay. Reuse content. So maybe you have something that Facebook memories. There's stuff in Facebook memories sometimes that I see I posted a year ago. I'm like, oh, dang, that was good. It was a year ago. No one's going to remember you posted it. Reuse it. Okay. cross-platform posts. So like I said, I do Instagram and Facebook, but it's funny. I was just telling a friend this the other day. When it comes to stories, I start creating my story on Instagram, but I have it set up to automatically share it to my Facebook story. We'll get to that in a minute, but just keep in mind, some of those things don't transfer. Like polls don't transfer, and links do. Some of them don't, but we'll get to that in a minute. But when I'm posting on my page, I start on Facebook and I have it automatically share it to Instagram. Really weird. Sometimes it's vice versa, but anyway, cross-platform. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just tell it to also post the same thing on the other platform and you're good to go. Save inspiration posts. There's another slide I'll click to next. But when you see a post that somebody else posted, maybe they're in the same company as you, maybe they're in a different company, whatever it is, you just read it and you're like, wow, that was good. Copy it, go to your notes app on your phone and save it. Okay. Don't share it, because then your audience is being redirected to that person. And don't immediately copy and paste it, because that just does not good favors for either one of us in the algorithms. Okay. Copy it, put it in your notes, save it for a rainy day. On that rainy day, you're going to redo it, because whatever that person posted from their heart and their brain and their sole purpose relates to them. It's likely not the same soul purpose, passion, and heart that you have. So you have to edit it a little bit to make it more you. Like I said, I have an example on the next slide. Just a second, bear with me. When you are posting, use a picture. Actually, I am going to go to this inspiration while we're on it. So here is a recycling inspiration that I just did a couple weeks ago. Sarah, my Bravenly bestie, posted this, and she called me a little while later and she says, Mickey, I can't believe that post just blew up. I had so many messages already, comments, likes, whatever. And I'm like, oh, really? Was that good? Okay. So I went and I copied it and I pasted it in a note, but I redid like almost all of it. I used her inspiration and I used her like bulk and the meat and potatoes, but I made it in my own. See, she says, we just kicked off a 3-day sneak peek event. We're in the middle of a 3-day sneak peek event. And I made it more of just my own story. Okay. The more I grow closer with some of these top industry leaders, I realize they really aren't any different than I am. Okay. I added my own twist, my own story, my own heart and passion in my post, but I used the meat and potatoes that she did on her original post. Okay. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. But I didn't just copy and paste what she had. I copied, recycled, or upcycled it and made it my very own. Very similar meanings, very like almost exact purpose of the post, but different posts. Okay, I'm gonna hop back up to this. So when you're posting, use a picture. What I didn't show, I cropped it just so you guys could see the words to see the difference, how they're similar but not the same. We both had a picture underneath it. It's just not in this image because obviously you could only go so much screenshot, but post a picture. Okay. When you're scrolling on Facebook, I should have saved a picture to show you guys. But when you're scrolling on Facebook, it's only going to show like the first, maybe like Sarah's first little section, and then like the top sentence of the bottom of the next one. And then it says ... and click see more. But what it does show you is that picture. That picture is what's going to be the showstopper. That's what's going to stop someone to scroll. If they just see all these words, they're going to keep scrolling and think, oh, that's way too many words. Okay. And they're looking for pictures. Think about when you're scrolling, you look for pictures. Okay. The showstopper, the scroll stopper, I should say. So post a picture, a good picture, or if it's just a little snippet, if it's just a little couple sentences that you're posting, use Facebook tools, use the background that they have. Facebook and Instagram, they have all these features and tools. They want you to use them. They're going to reward you for using them. Okay. So if it's just something short and sweet, use a Facebook background. If it's anything more than that, add a picture. If you're posting something about our products, we have incredible resources at Bravenly that you can use. So use a Bravenly image versus an infographic. Okay. So where you find these is in the brand partner social library on Facebook to get the images. If you're posting on your social media, go to Bravenly brand partner social library. Don't post infographics. Infographics you can find in Bravenly Nation. They're amazing tools and resources, but those are really meant to be sent in messages or maybe in the comments of your post if you're talking about a specific product. But if you just want a picture, if you have a post, you're talking about our mushroom coffee, okay? Go to the Bravenly brand partner library, image library, whatever it's called. I always just search library and it pops up that group. You can find amazing images of coffee, of Boost Brew, of good postable things. Okay. What I don't want you to post is the image of all of the ingredients, the back label of the package, the price, all that stuff. It's just too much information. It's not a showstopper. It looks like an ad. Okay. Post a picture of the product, of like the usable product. Okay. The product in use, not the information graphic. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't understand why, I can dive more into it, but it's really just a matter of like that look. You want it to be more appealing and people to say, oh, what kind of coffee is she drinking? Not the whole 9 yards. And all of that stuff needs to happen in the message. Okay. Or a picture of you. Again, you using the product. All right. And so then I always recommend posting on your feed 5 to 7 times a week. Posting multiple times a day is kind of a thing in the past where we used to post like what we're doing every second, what we're eating for lunch and dinner and breakfast, what we're watching on the TV at the time. Like that's more of what's happening in stories these days. Now we can kind of scale that back to posting like once a day max. I say 5 to 7 days a week is probably pretty good. All right. Let's move on to stories. So stories are like, you can post pictures or you can do like whatever, it was 15-second videos. Now I think they're longer depending on the platform, whatever it is, similar kind of thing. Okay. 80% lifestyle, 20% business. So share, what are you doing? This is when you can talk about what you're having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what you're reading, where you're going, what you're doing, like share your routine. People want to see, that's how they connect with you. That's how they really get to know who you are, what your vibe is, what you stand for. Stories are really where the magic happens as far as getting people to know, like, and trust you on a more intimate level. I used to go live in my story, not really live, but live in my story every single morning making a smoothie. I had an incredible morning routine. I didn't miss a beat. I also had a lot going on in my life at that time, so I was able to share. It was when we were on the brink of selling our house, moving into a camper to build a house, and I just talked about that every morning, and really people were engaged because they wanted to know what was happening next. They wanted to know what we decided. They wanted to give their input of, yeah, buy a camper, or, oh gosh, your girl, that's pretty risky. Just selling your house with nowhere to go. And it was a lot of fun because people felt like they really knew me and were a part of what was happening. And it was like reading a book or watching a movie. Okay. Now my life's a little bit more boring, but that's okay. Share your kids or your animals. Show those cute puppy dogs running around or being goofy or doing their tricks with a treat. And your kids being crazy. My kids are always dancing or doing gymnastics or whatever in my stories. And then again, words that should be of encouragement, but just inspire people, provide content. Again, make them want to come back and see what you're doing every day because they just feel so lit up and motivated whenever they see you in your story. Okay. And then 20% business. So the bulk of it is doing all those other things, sprinkle in the business. Sprinkle in drinking your pink or blue rush. Sprinkle in mixing up your coffee every morning. Sprinkle in popping a calm chill pill on your crazy busy days. Okay. Share before and afters. Share your friends' testimonies. But again, your whole story shouldn't be just business, or people are going to swipe right through it. Okay. With that, people are going to end up in your inbox because, again, they want to contribute to what you're doing in your life. They want to tell you how cute your kids or your animals are. They want to like your inspirational stories, and they want to vote on your polls. Do polls for both things. Like I talked about on the newsfeed part, do polls for this or that, but also do polls for product information. Yes, send me more. How can I get a sample? Maybe yes. I will say, when you're doing a poll, fun fact, never give them the option to say no. Okay. It's either like a maybe or a yes, or a heck yes, or a tell me more or something. But usually the prompt automatically says yes or no. Get rid of that no. You can change them. Okay. As far as creating story content goes, show your face. People want to see you. They're going to realize who you are and connect with you better if they can see your beautiful face. Don't just show them, don't just record your story like this and what's happening in your cup. Like, that's not that cool. But if you can do it on this side where you've got, I don't know if you guys can even see my video, but where you can show the camera is looking at you and your cup. Okay. It doesn't, in your stories, it doesn't need to be perfect. There are times where my camera is like at the same angle and I'm trying to like duck so people can't see my double chin. I have a tripod, but when I'm just trying to be real and not like, stories should be real. When you're doing like a live video on your Facebook, sure, set it up, get the whole 9 yards, do the tripod, the ring light, all the thing, the perfect angle, and talk like you're professional. But in your stories, like, people want to be able to relate to you being a normal human that we are. So have the double chin, show them in your pajamas, like your makeup's not on yet, like whatever, relate. People want to relate to you. They want to know they're not the only ones that walk around without a bra on before they've had their coffee, no makeup, hair in a top knot, whatever. Okay. Show up as you on your stories. Not that you can't show up as you on your Facebook lives, do that too. But I'm just saying, if you're always spot on and perfect in your stories, they're going to start to not be able to connect with you because they're not spot on, perfect, dressed up, dolled up every day. Okay. Again, cross-platform. Oh, use captions for videos. If you're doing a video in your story, this gets me all the time because I get like on a tangent, go figure, and it cuts me off. You get like a minute or whatever, and the thing is up and you have to start over. Well, I want to just like send it and start a new one before I finish my thought. But you guys probably can relate to this. A lot of times people are watching their stories when they're waiting in line at we call it the Secretary of State, but I think a lot of states call it the DMV. Maybe while they're snuggling their little one to sleep, maybe while they're feeding the baby. Well, it's at a quiet area. They don't have the volume on. They can't hear what you're saying. They're going to swipe right through it. But if you turn captions on, they can read what you're talking about as it's playing. So always use captions. It does take an extra few seconds. So just hold your thought, click the add captions, let it add your words on top of your video, send it, and then start a new one. And just remember where you were. If you forget where you were, that's okay. Just go with it. Like, oh my gosh, totally got cut off. Don't know where I was, but just continue on. Okay. Again, cross platforms. Like I said, I start all of mine on Instagram, probably because I'm just most familiar with their features, like their captions. It's easy for me to go and add captions from Instagram. I'm not sure if I know how to do it from Facebook because I'm just used to doing it from Instagram and sending it automatically over to Facebook. Use polls, use slides. Like I talked about, don't use the no option for polls. If you don't know, if you can't think of like 2 options to put in a poll, use a slide. So if you're talking about, my go-to is products. If you're talking about products or an event you're hosting and you just want to say like, send me more information on a slider. Okay. Not a yes or a heck yes, but just tell me all the details on a slider. And then show real life you. We kind of talked about that already with your face. People want to know you. Okay. And then again, in stories, post multiple times a day. You can go like your story should always be active. There's like a ring. It's like a pinkish purplish ring in Instagram. I think it's a blue ring in Facebook. You should always have a ring around your face because you're active. That's your open sign, right? Think of that ring is your open sign for your business. Even if it's nothing to do with business, in that ring, you're open because you're selling yourself, which sounds terrible, not the products or the business. Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted. What's next? Oh, maybe that's it. We've come to the end. Awesome. Okay. So I think, let me stop my screen share a second. I think I've just about covered all the basics for building, selling, getting started on social media and really utilizing the power that social media is for building a business. Okay. The biggest takeaways from the last 3 days are really selling you, letting people connect with you, who you are. Okay. You're not Bravenly. You're not the products. You're not the CEO. You're not, okay, any of those things. It's you. People are going to connect to you, promote yourself, and share the products that you love. Okay. Also, you are not the influencer who always has the best posts. Copy them, paste them in your notes, redo them so they are you, and then post them. Okay, those are the biggest takeaways, I think. Let me know if you have questions.